Ladies and gentlemen,
Womp.
welcome
There it
back.
is.
True
Hello,
peak limiting is
everybody.
bad.
Hello, hello.
True peak limiting is bad. You just open with that?
Yeah.
True peak limiting is bad. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a tantalizing episode for you this week.
Oh boy,
Boy,
do we.
with
do
our
we.
guest, DJ Hookline. And he's
What's up,
here.
Zach.
Yeah, you can call him Zach.
Yeah.
Um,
What's up?
Not much, man. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good, dude.
Yeah.
He is here to share with us many wonderful things. One of those things including is his vital user manual.
Mm.
That's right. We have nerdy friends, guys,
We have super nerdy
It's
friends.
the
That's
greatest
right.
thing. Yeah.
because we're all nerds.
Yeah.
We're
how we
all
roll.
nerds. We're all just candy in this big life of food.
What?
Nerds, the candy.
Oh, gotcha.
Dude, they're so good.
What?
No,
In the candy bowl of life.
the candy bowl of life, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Grandma's candy bowl of life.
She has the best bowl of life, dude.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, Grandma does have the best candy bowl,
Dude.
especially your grandma.
Yeah.
Dude,
Shout out
Shout out
Austin's grandma.
Absolutely.
400%.
She's gonna hear this and be so happy.
Dude, repping. She's the best grandma.
Yeah.
Go, Grandma.
Right.
This is the Producer's Lounge,
Yes, it is.
If you couldn't tell.
or Producer Lounge. I've been saying producers all this time and just realized it.
No S.
Well, podcast for you guys, talking about just the deep and dark crevices of the DAW and the production experience.
The doll.
That's right.
Yeah. The hidden
We get deep.
valleys.
We don't keep secrets.
Mm-mm.
No, we don't.
No. No, we give you all the secrets.
You know why?
Why?
There are no secrets.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know why, but he just revealed it.
That's true.
There are no secrets.
There are no secrets.
Yeah.
In the world of music production,
Except for a couple that I'm not saying.
but most of them we will spill for you on this show. So
No,
we'd like
we'll tell you anything. Anything you want to know.
Mm-hmm.
anything? How do you get rid of a body?
In a track?
Like a train
well,
track.
I would say like a train track. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what I was going to say, so
Oh, good.
that worked out perfectly.
No, but to be honest, we're very excited for this episode.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good
It's gonna
one.
be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Got some good topics.
We do have some good topics.
Mm-hmm. As always. Always dropping the knowledge bombs.
Always.
Yeah. For this Twitch stuff.
100.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody has anything they'd like to get off their chest, the beginning of the show is usually the perfect time for that. If there's anything you've been kind of thinking about through the week that you really want to spout out,
there is something I'd like to say.
do it.
I decided recently that I'm giving up making electronic music and pursuing my passion of country folk music.
I was going to say the glasses were giving it away,
Oh,
A
did
little
they?
bit.
but
It'll be a smooth transition then, right?
yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just gotta smoke like at least 3 more packs of cigarettes a day. You
Oh,
gotta get
yeah.
that voice kind of
Yeah, you got to get it nice and grumbly.
not too
I'm
breathy.
just out here to make some music.
Yeah, just real like it's like old leather in your
Actual
throat.
music.
You know,
Not that electronic
Not
bullshit.
real music like Genshin Impact. That's an inside joke, ladies and gentlemen. I am deeply sorry.
Okay, yeah, 'cause that went way over my head.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, no, if anyone has anything actually interesting
Here,
they've been
what
messing
was
with
what
this
was
week.
our question we were talking about?
Or should I just like introduce the user manual and how I was like working on it and stuff? And
Yeah, you can talk about
We can
that.
start there. Yeah,
Go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I know like Vital came out. I don't know how long ago, like a year, 2 years ago or something.
No, it came out recently.
Okay, yeah, it wasn't that long
Vital
ago.
came out. I think it was November, December.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
but-
it?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
know.
wow.
I started like collaborating with you guys and like some other people, and everyone was using it. And I was like,
I
oh,
love
okay,
it.
that's kind of cool. And I was like, oh, it's free. And then so I downloaded it, and then I like looked up the user manual, and I was like, oh, there's no user manual. And because yeah, usually when I buy a synth, I just read through the user manual, and that's
Mhm.
how I get up to speed on it really quickly. Because I feel like if you watch YouTube videos, that can like help, but you're not. It's gonna be much more thorough if you just read through the user manual, because then you're gonna know what everything does. Whereas if you watch a YouTube video, a lot of the times they're just like, here's how you make this sound, or here's how you do this one thing in the synth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but so I looked it up and it wasn't there, and I was like, I mean, it's free synth, so I appreciate that for sure.
Right.
But yeah, I was like, this seems like someone could write a user manual, and I was like looking it up online, and nobody had done it. So yeah, then I just I started doing it, and at first I just started doing it in like a text file, and then after I had like a long text file, eventually I was like, I'm gonna move this into like a word processor and actually like make this official and start adding like images and stuff. And then so I spent like 2 months just working on it like every single day, and yeah, it was a lot of work, but and like I could figure like out like most of the stuff about the synth, but then there were certain things that like it took me a while to like figure out what it was even doing. So yeah, it was a lot of work. It was I had to do like a bunch of research, like also for like the random generation things. Like I didn't know like what Perlin noise was, or like
right, exactly.
Yeah.
what the Lorenz attractor was. So I had to like do research and look up that stuff and then like summarize it. But yeah, so it was a lot of work, and I put it all together, and I tried to make it as much like as an official user manual as I could, and then I released it. So yeah, now everybody else, if they ever need to look up Vital user manual, hopefully it'll come up on the Google search engine.
Dude, right? You're gonna be the top dog on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully now they can just find it and learn whatever they need to learn.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
You pretty much just have Vital completely on lock now, just inside and out. So that's kind of cool.
I mean, the thing is, you can learn how a synth works, but that doesn't learning what to do with it is a different skill.
Doesn't necessarily mean you can make dope sounds.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean that.
That's
you can,
fair.
You can make dope sounds, though.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. That's a hell of a project to just take upon yourself.
Hell of a sour cream dip.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so we can go into details about some of the things that I thought were really cool about the synth, or what I thought makes it stand out. But before we do that, didn't you said you wanted to like say something?
No, we can go there.
Okay.
What we had talked about, we can have like at the end, have you kind of pull it up and talk about some really specific things.
Okay.
But any kind of other things you want to talk about.
Yeah,
totally.
you can.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
Okay. So I think one cool thing I thought was cool about Vital was here. Can you bring it up real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like this is.
You have to call him Jamie, though. Oh wait.
Always 400.
Oh, there we go. But yeah, so they have a bunch of these different filters, and so filters and synths, I think, are one of the things that give them like a unique sound and makes the synth sound like what the synth is. So yeah, here, just leave it on a saw wave, and then turn the filter 1 on. And then so I couldn't figure out what all these filters were, but 2 of them I was just looking up. Here, so if you open the filter menu, yeah, they have a ladder and diode.
Right.
So ladder and diode are supposed to be Moog and the Roland filters, respectively.
Oh.
So I forget exactly what it was, but it's like a
ladder.
It's like a ladder of transistors or something.
Oh. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And so it's supposed to mimic what a Moog filter sounds like, and the diode is supposed to the diode is supposed to sound like what a Roland sounds like. And a Roland, if you don't know, is like acid house music.
Right. Oh yeah, 100%.
Is like the Roland 303. That's like what that sound is. So I really like using the diode filter. I think it's got a lot of like character to it. And filters too. It's something that like
it's really squelchy.
You don't notice it until you put a lot of post processing on it. But if you put like a distortion after this and stuff, then you start to really tell the different characters of each of the filters. So I'd say if you're learning sound design with any synth, like put all the different filters on and put like distortion after it, and like hear what each filter sounds like, because that's what gives each synth like a large part of its sound. I think is just the filters, and it's all just comes down to like specifically what happens at that cutoff point, because they'll have like different weird little like dips and like peak, like the way they peak are all going to be slightly different, and it gives it its own like unique character. But so yeah, I really like the diode filter in here, and also the what's the Moog one again? Open it up. The ladder. Yeah, both those are really good, and I like them a lot.
Yeah, I've messed with the ladder one, but I've never messed with the diode. Although I've been messing with the 303, I have quite a bit. And now that I know that's what this is, now I'm really excited to put stuff through it because they're really squelchy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but
really
the
squeaky.
diode is my favorite in Vital.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
Nice. That's cool.
I have not messed with it once yet.
Here, so you can play some sounds
Yeah,
to it real
that's
quick
dope.
and hear how it sounds.
Yeah, might as well.
Or make like a little 303 real quick.
Oh, I put it on the wrong one. Does sound 303. Well, now Vinyl's in the way. So, you want me to make a 303 pattern?
Yeah, just put like a
little acid bass.
yeah, put an envelope on there and yeah, get some acid bass going.
It's gonna be way. See, there it goes. Darn thing with me and the. Whoa. I was like, why is it?
What are you looking at?
We're looking
All the
we're
timing's
looking at
all-
just all of us. So it's funny.
Oh yeah. Sorry, folks. There we go.
Just
Let me
looking
turn.
at you, looking at us.
Let me
going,
turn
"Whoa."
numpad.
Yeah.
That'd be a good promo. You're like, whoa. And we're like laughing. Nothing's happening.
You gotta go. What is happening here? Let's just do this. Short.
Ooh.
Yes, that's better. And then do like every so many an octave down. What's happening here?
I feel like Ableton always wants to like go a little bit not perfectly on the grid.
Dude,
Right, it'll
constantly.
constantly just be goofy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it'll follow like according to whatever you had done last. Sometimes. Like if you were already off the grid and then you move it over, it'll try and like match the off the gridness.
Here, put all that down an octave or two.
I will once I get this
Okay.
filter on there.
All right, yeah, never mind.
Oh baby, I'm so excited right now.
But yeah, so super like squelchy.
Right?
It immediately becomes like a different key.
Right?
And if you throw like a little bit of like decapitator after it too, it'll like
Yeah.
really bring out the sound of the filter more.
Let's do that.
And then
Everybody
yeah,
loves
maybe
a good decap.
just put some decapitator after it, and then just like go through the different filters so you can like hear the character of each of them.
Oh.
Or maybe we should-
chug.
I was gonna say, should we get rid of decapitator and just use like the the vital distortion or whatever? But I like decapitator a
Oh,
lot.
I love
but
decap.
yeah.
I recently started putting decap on my kick drums.
Mm.
It's like good for
Mm.
everything. It's a preamp emulation actually.
It's good for everything but like, at least for me, it's good for everything but like distorted sine waves. Like when I'm trying to make a bass sound with like a squashed sine wave, the decap always is just like way overboard or just not enough. Like,
Yeah,
I can never find a middle ground. I don't know why.
I feel like it's more of like a mixing tool where it's like it's used to like enhance sounds, but it's not the best for like if you want to go like all out and distort something from like nothing.
So here is Diode still.
All right.
Here's ladder.
So yeah, very different sound like immediately.
Yeah, right. Jesus.
Oh, well, some of that might just have to do with the resonance, but
Yeah, but like his resonance at 80% is way different than the ladder at 80%.
This one has definitely like more resonance on it.
But yeah, so the ladder's supposed to be like a Moog. So a Moog, you wouldn't really want to have it be going crazy like this, and like something super fast.
Why not?
I mean, you could. But Moogs, I feel like I more think of as like fat, like bass line type of things. Whereas, the Roland's more like for that crazy 303 bass. But yeah, and then just try some of the other ones and see how they sound too.
Dude, that sounds sick.
Well, yeah, and the Foreman and the Comb, those are going to be different stories. That's like a whole other thing. But yeah, just the
Yeah.
top four.
That's the
I
Daft
love
Punk.
Foreman so much.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
those filters, that's like a whole different kind of filter.
Yeah.
The analog, dirty, ladder, and digital are going to be like your traditional filters where they're going to be like low pass, high pass, band pass. Whereas
And
the
then
Foreman, the Comb, and the Phaser, those are basically... I don't. Should I explain like that whole thing right now? I feel like
Yeah,
that's,
if
that's
you
a
want
lot.
to.
That's
Yeah.
a lot
You
of
can
stuff
explain all
to
of it.
explain.
mean,
and
explain
it's
it
all
on
in
a
it's all in the
minor.
user manual. So explaining it quickly, maybe you could just start with the comb filter. A comb filter essentially it blocks. It has a bunch of different notches that pull out frequencies, and it does it through the harmonic series. So it sounds semi-natural. But yeah, if you play it with a comb filter, you'll hear what it does like immediately. It has like a big effect on the sound. Comb filters are used a lot in they're used a lot in dubstep for sure.
Yeah.
But comb filters are super useful. And then a phaser and a flanger actually they're like a phaser and a flanger. Without going too much into detail, they are audio effects that result in comb filters. But so a phaser is going to have a lot less notches than a flanger. So like comb filter is going to have all the notches, a flanger is going to have less, and then a phaser is going to have even less. And then the Foreman is supposed to mimic human speech. So human speech, it's basically you have peaks and valleys, and when they approach each other, it starts to sound like vowels. So basically, that's just going to be filtering out frequencies and having peaks and valleys that approach each other when you mess with it.
Those ones are the shit.
Yeah, Formants are super
Foreman
cool.
filters, yeah, I love them so much. That's cool that comb filters are based off the harmonic series. I never knew that.
Mhm.
Is that like all comb filters are like that? Or are there like some fucked up
I mean, you could
disharmonic ones?
you could make a comb filter that doesn't follow the harmonic series, but like naturally, comb filters were introduced by like repeating the sound at a slightly different speed, which results in the harmonic series.
Yeah, you get comb filtering in regular life
Right.
constantly
Yeah.
from random things.
Almost everything you hear is comb filtered,
Yep.
technically.
And that's
Yep.
just from stuff like bouncing around the air and losing
Right, and,
different
like,
frequency bands.
being like
Going around the wall,
phased out and shit.
like, yep.
That's cool.
But yeah, so I thought the diode and the ladder were
Dude.
pretty cool in Vital.
That thing I'm gonna use a bunch. I didn't know that was in there. I'm so excited.
I know in Serum they have some cool filters too in
Yeah.
the like miscellaneous section. I know I like the like German LP.
Yeah, the
yeah.
German LP I use
and
a
the
lot.
what's the other one? It's like
The French.
the French. Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's got like the BO whatever.
Yeah, the craziness when it gets all fucking
Yeah.
hardcore. I
It-
love that shit.
It just like fucks up the filter.
yeah,
but yeah, I like
love
it.
that.
Yeah. But yeah, so if you're like new to sound design or whatever, filters are like I feel like that's the main thing that gives different synths their character. So that's whenever you're exploring a synth, explore the filters, put distortion after it, and really
Mhm.
see like what kind of sounds you can get out of that synth.
Yeah.
Also slam distortion before the filter too.
But yeah, either or.
Yeah. Maybe don't use auto filter every time. You know?
Yeah.
Explore your filter options.
There's lots of them.
Lots of filter options
There.
out there.
And then something else I could talk about that's actually really cool about Vital too is the spread knob. So I don't know what it's doing when it's summing to mono essentially, but it sums to mono in a really cool way.
Oh, you're talking about
So yeah, here take the
Bottom
filter.
right.
Goodwood.
Yeah, in the bottom right in the global section. Yeah, right to the right of that knob spread. All right, so yeah, just take the. Or I guess you don't need to take the filter off, but yeah, turn the detune up a lot, or well, not. Put it on like 20% or whatever the default. I think it's 20%.
Spread that boy.
Yeah, so here, play a detuned wave, and put a utility after it. So I want to show how their spread knob sums to mono in a better way than just summing to mono.
Nice. That's really cool.
So here, and then put it in mono real quick.
In this, on the util?
Yep. So it like loses a bunch of its like weight when you sum it to mono.
Mm-hmm.
So here, now sum it to mono with the spread knob.
There definitely is a little more girth.
Try to turn the mono back on the utility, and then go back and forth with the spread.
Yeah, but their spread knob, I don't know what he's doing with it, but he's doing a really good
The
job.
spread.
Oh, that's the wrong one. My
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know what
Interesting.
I don't know what he did with that knob, but he's summing to mono in like a really nice way. So yeah, definitely if you're creating like detuned sounds.
Yeah, and you want
wanna-
to make it go like.
Yeah, or you want to give it maybe even just a little less width.
Yeah.
Like use that instead of the utility because the utility's gonna
Kill a little bit.
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But
Love it.
that was something really cool that I noticed when I was messing around with Vital.
I wish you would just make this as a util, and I could just throw this on my channels.
Yeah, true. I don't know.
Probably a little more intense.
I wonder what he's doing with that knob. I was
Right.
kind of wondering if somehow he's like fading from using the left and the right to just using like the left or something.
You could test that.
But you could
If
test
you
that.
just
but
test-
it would take some time.
No, wouldn't
Oh,
you
yeah.
just select the left channel or right channel?
Oh, true. And then just turn the spread up and down. Is that what he's doing?
It is. Yeah.
He's
Mhm.
just okay.
It's just choosing a side.
It's just going to the left side.
Yep.
Okay, but yeah, so that's cool because it doesn't introduce all that phase cancellation, and then you end up with a much better result.
Yeah, that is cool.
Wow.
I don't think there's anything
good to know.
else.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
is good
know
to
of
know.
anything else that does that. It's like that fades it like that.
I've never looked into how things go sum to mono.
Most of the time,
Ever.
no. Yeah.
Usually they do it like the utility does in Ableton, and it's like just
What does it do?
adds the two signals and like averages them, and then you end up with a phase canceled signal.
Okay.
Yeah, it just says converted to mono.
Right.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, so what they're doing is actually what the utility's doing is more like correct. In that it's summing to mono,
Right.
whereas the spread is pulling it to
It's just
Right.
only
one side
showing
and
you
putting-
the mono signal, right?
yeah, yeah. It's
No, if on
Or
the
it's not just going to
utility.
mids, it's adding the highs in.
Right.
too.
It's technically summing it all. It's
Okay.
converting the whole stereo signal to mono.
it's playing the left and the right at the same time through one channel instead of two.
Basically.
Right.
So it's like
right.
adding them together.
Right. Which I've been checking a lot of my mixes in mono recently more often throughout the process.
Nice.
Yeah, that's always a good move.
Just for like minor things, for like anything I have that's super wide, where like I can't tell if it's having an issue with like the bass or the mids because it's all the way out
Right.
here, you know. So I sum it to mono so I can mix it in with the mids a little bit easier, and then re-pop it out and it sounds all saucy, and I get all excited because you're going from mono to stereo. And
Yeah.
It just sounds fun
Feels really nice.
after you've been working in mono for like
Gives
a
you
half
a
an
little
hour.
serotonin boost.
Yeah, you're like, ooh, ooh, it's all wide.
Yeah, I know. Travis showed me
Dopamine.
this, or I Am Mountain, but you can just key map a utility on your master channel,
Mhm.
and then I
He
just pick
likes
it.
his key maps.
Yeah,
He
so
does.
but so
Yes.
I always do that now actually too. I think I stole even the exact key from him.
Oh, cool.
I always just put the comma on the mono on the
comma?
master.
Okay.
So now like whenever I'm mixing, I'm always pushing that on and off and always listening in
Nice.
mono and
Nice,
stereo.
nice.
That's cool.
Because yeah, if it yeah, sometimes you'll be working on like some detuned saw and you'll be like, this sounds awesome. And then you'll sum it to mono and it'll just like completely disappear and you'll be like, oh shit, now I need to completely like remake that sound or
Right.
Yeah.
like figure something out. But yeah, if you just keep doing it from the get go and keep switching back and forth, that saves you a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ahi is always talking about how he does the same thing as you and Travis, where he's constantly checking the mixes in mono. He's like super aware of that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I guess 'cause like some places, some like venues are like a mono
Oh
system
yeah,
kind
a
of
lot
thing.
of clubs are.
Like most clubs.
Yeah.
I don't know how much these days.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I guess that's true.
It
Now
has
it's
been the case in the past.
right.
Yeah,
A
I have
no
PA
idea.
system most of the time is just mono.
Yeah, the audio engineer I was working with at the studio was saying he worked in live audio, and he was like, I didn't work with like any systems that were mono.
Oh, cool.
But still, it's like if you're standing at one side of the club, like how much are you hearing the speaker on the other side of the club when
Mm.
there's like all those people in the room and like.
Yeah, that's still a good point, for sure.
Sure. Sure.
Also,
Totally.
sometimes you go in a club where it's like a super weird shape, like it's like an L or something. So there's
Right.
no way you're hearing the
Right.
speakers on the other side.
Yeah, it is an interesting
That,
thing.
or you go to the church and all the sound is bouncing around upstairs.
Yeah.
And then slowly makes its way down to you, and it's just like an amalgam of tin slapping around.
Oh, Jesus.
I've never seen a show that wasn't house music at the church, but I feel like it would sound really bad. Like with house, it's kind of nice because the kick drum just like booms
Right,
in
right,
there.
and that's all that matters.
But like I feel like if you had any other type of beat in there, it would just be like super messy.
Yeah,
Mm.
I don't think it's like terrible, but I feel like if they spent, $3,000 on like some hanging sound treatment, it would sound just so much better.
I mean, it's kind of cool for house because it's
No,
just
no.
super boomy and
Yeah.
just like.
It's just
But yeah, I can't imagine seeing like a drum and bass show there or something. I feel like it would just be a mess. Like.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
anything tight would be
Mhm.
difficult.
A drum and
Mhm.
bass show there. Yeah, that would be a little bit rough.
Although I do like the church.
We got spots for that though.
Yeah,
Oh,
the,
yeah.
Love
Yeah.
the church.
yeah, the church is a cool venue. I've been
Oh,
there
yeah.
a bunch
Yeah,
of
me
times.
too.
I saw
love that place.
Cascade at the church.
Mm,
Nice.
That's fun. That's super fun.
Nice. Do you have some pamphlets at the door trying to convert you to Mormonism?
I didn't get in.
Take that, Cascade.
Hey.
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 Always 400.
Let's go.
We'll sign you, though. We'll sign you.
Yeah, for sure. We'll sign you. We will.
Yeah.
We will.
So yeah, we were talking about a stereo field a second ago, and it made
Oh,
me
yeah.
think of John was telling us like a while ago about how he was getting like super into like side chaining his stereo field differently than his mids, and I can't remember if he did it longer or shorter. But it's a concept I've been playing with again, and it's like
I think he did it really fast, but
He was doing it on the master.
on the master, yeah,
Yeah.
like
so
full blown.
a sidechain on the master, only on the sides.
yeah, so just
And it's it's just for the transient of like the kick and the snare.
So it gets that extra little.
yeah,
pop
the
through
extra
everything.
extra pump.
Yeah, so it just takes the sides out when the kick hits. So it's just like and it just sucks everything in for the
Mhm.
kick to shine
Yeah,
Which
that's
is
a fun.
intriguing.
bright.
And he figured that out, like, somehow he was, like, breaking down a Jade Cicada track. And somehow he just, like, heard that, which makes no sense to me. Like, that is some weird, just,
He's
like,
why is it hitting so good right here?
right? Yeah. Yeah.
He's like analyzing the sides or something, looking at it going,
Something, yeah. Yeah.
that'd be crazy.
Right.
What a nerd.
He
Yeah.
is.
Mega
Giant
nerd.
Once again.
I remember you guys told me he was talking about that, and I still need to try that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool move. Just,
That
like,
is a
another
fun
extra
idea.
little thing you can add to something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just one of those
It's
extra
like
little,
nice little trick to have in your pocket just to throw down every once in a while.
right? Yeah. And I bet you most people aren't doing something like that. So it's just
Probably
an
not.
extra little, like, oh, I got this one trick you don't know.
Yeah,
What's
the
up?
question is, does it work on every track?
I don't see why not.
Right. I don't see why not either.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes there'd be like something melodic going on over the kick that you probably would want in stereo.
It's a small,
Yeah, it's like a-
small.
Yeah, like
Side chain.
barely perceptible.
We're talking about like
Millis.
15 milliseconds or something.
Millis.
Uh-huh.
Just little.
I mean, I can definitely see how it would sound good.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But I think there's also probably circumstances where it would be like, oh, didn't work or whatever.
Right.
It's like,
Mm.
oh my
sure,
god,
yeah.
did the sides just disappear for 15 milliseconds?
Oh my god.
This melody's ruined.
This melody does not work anymore.
Yeah,
No,
and
I'm
if,
sure.
if
I mean,
that's
like,
the case,
Yeah,
then
I
you
do
should
see what
just
you're
use it
saying
every
for
time.
sure.
a sidechain doesn't get used in every single track
Yeah.
by any stretch of the imagination,
Yeah.
unless you're making electronic.
Yeah, I was
music.
like, every track I do.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to have those drums punching.
Mm.
That's right, baby.
That's right.
Need those drums
They
knocking.
ain't gonna punch the same way.
Mhm.
Otherwise,
No, they will not. And speaking about drums punching, me and Dave were talking about the importance of parallel compression on your drum channel.
So important.
So important.
Huge.
Yeah, you guys always
Huge.
tell me about it, and
Huge.
I never do it.
Huge. Here, I'll show you an example.
I feel like it's super easy now too. Like a lot
Right.
of compression plugins have like you don't need to even like do the thing where you make another track or
Mhm.
whatever anymore. So-
I'm making another track though.
Yeah,
are
that's
you?
how I would do it, just because I like that.
Or
Visual
I'm
or
just
the
I'm
understanding.
just grouping it and doing a separate
Right.
parallel channel because I want to distort it along with
Right.
the compressor.
Want to
So
do
you
a
can
bunch
get
of
like
things.
a distresser.
Yeah, maybe.
Terrible.
Are you familiar with? It's like some. It used to be like a piece of analog gear, and now there's like a plugin called the distresser, and it's like a.
Oh yeah.
A lot
yeah,
of people
yeah, I
like
know this plugin.
A lot of people swear by it, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's a compressor with distortion, and they call it the distresser.
That compressor is sick. That is.
I've
sick.
never heard of it.
I
That's
haven't
cool,
tried
though.
it, but I've heard it's nice.
Oh
Yeah.
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 But I also wonder if you can just do compression and distortion if it's the same thing. But I don't know. I've heard it is a very nice plugin.
Hmm.
I'm
And
sure it sounds amazing. It's an actual piece of hardware.
Yeah.
In real life. It's
w-
an actual piece of hardware in virtual reality.
In virtual reality. Of course, it's an actual piece of synthware in real life.
Yes, exactly.
Software. Synthware.
Synthware. I liked it.
You just
I thought that was
you're
sick.
doing it to your
Yeah, I'm just
Little
gonna
boy.
basically just gonna show you like the settings I would use on like
Yes,
this.
please.
This is for example if it was on drums, I'd basically just get it to the point where I kind of start with halfway to what the peak is. And you could do this I guess on like glue.
I use glue a lot for it. You can totally do it.
If we're doing it on glue, I would basically just go until he's like 10. That's kind of usually where I like to sit with a really slow release, kind of slow attack. I'll
This is a
I'll do
different
10.
thing than what I'm doing. Very different.
And then I'll kind of go until I get a little bit of pumping.
I don't know if you're gonna get this synth pumping. You might need to pull in like a drum loop.
No, it's pumping
It's
a little
fine.
bit. It's pumping a little bit. I just don't want it falling. A lot of times I don't want it. If I'm doing this with glue, a lot of times I won't want it to fall past a certain threshold. So I want the compressor constantly in work, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But it's easier to see with this guy. Just like make a nice little thing, and then I don't want the line to like fall, you know, or go back up. Basically, in this range I have here, I want to kind of just floating around, and then you could do simple just mix in the wet or like Dave was saying, group this bad boy. Oh my goodness. Control G. And then no dry. Then you can do whatever you want to your wet chain.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just mix it in with the dry drums or whatever you're going to do. But specifically with like a slow release and a soft knee, at least for me, I'll get like some really nice pumping on like the high end of the drums, which is really nice to help them kind of just mesh together when it's like your kick and your snare and your multiple hi-hats and your off drums and whatever else.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been doing like a super fast attack with a like all the way, and then however much release I need to get it to kind of
Right.
be flopping a lot, and the threshold's digging hard as fuck.
Just
And
all
then
the way.
I mean, I'm not using C2 very often, but yeah,
Mm.
often on glue it'll be pretty much all the
It'll
way.
just
Yeah,
all
it'll
the
just
way.
be smashed. and then I'll bring it back up with like distortion and or a utility or whatever, any kind of fashion. But just to get like, it's just gathering all that like excess high end from the back of it,
Right.
and just giving you
Now-
tons of extra like filler past your transients and like main hefty guys.
My question on top of that would be, with your drum reverb, would you do that before you do this processing or after, or depending?
I was thinking about that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
I think after.
On my on my drum groups, I usually put the reverb first, and then I put like saturation and compression after. Or usually
Yeah.
compression and then saturation.
I found it, I mean, at least for me, it can work either way, but if the reverb is before, I have to smash it a little bit harder, and then I got to just mix it in a little bit drier, because the compression and saturation process is going to bring the reverb out a little bit more than it would if the reverb was on the other end of the compressors.
I would at least want some things taming the drums before the reverb.
Agreed.
I would think.
Clipper.
Clip that baby.
I get,
I clip
Absolutely.
first thing.
It's drums.
Yeah, I clip them first thing. Just right out of the gate, baby.
Clip those
Cut
bad
off
boys.
the heads of those bad boys.
Goddamn right.
Samurai chop.
Yep. Although, by the time the drum, it's usually pretty fucking clipped already by the time it gets to the main group.
Yeah.
But, so then you're just clipping off essentially like mixtures of sounds that are creating little mini peaks and stuff. And so it just kind of tames that.
Right, that, or if you want to color them a small amount, I'll dig it in just as a form of saturation.
so you actually like clip individual drums?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
I
usually
clip,
just
I clip everything, I think, almost at least once.
I
Yep.
usually just clip it on the drum group.
Yeah, I'll clip almost everything always.
I feel like usually, like,
Yep.
usually
Good move.
Not drums.
That's, yeah,
Everything.
everything almost always.
Almost always.
Yep,
Yeah. Sometimes
exactly.
not. Sometimes it's like a bass sound, and that bass sound just will not hit a clipper.
No.
You got to just compress that
Yeah.
that fatty, so it's not getting all colored.
Yeah.
But
Or like I find like with doing like chords a lot of the time.
Yeah,
If you try and clip it, you get that fucked
yeah.
up high end. That's just
Yeah,
horrible.
it's the exact
Yeah.
same thing with the sub. You just got to compress that bad boy instead.
it's
Yeah.
getting little bits at a time. Everything's
Yep.
getting little teeny bits at a time, though. It's not like
Right, you're
you're not clipping the fuck out of
yeah,
everything.
you're not decapitating it. You're just
You're
shaving
just-
it.
yeah.
Shaving it.
just a little bit.
I guess sometimes I usually just clip the drum group, and then if one drum's like causing an issue, and then I'll like go in and limit that specific drum if I need to. But I
Right.
feel like I don't just like do it by default. Like usually most of my drums are not limited until the
Mhm.
end of the drum group. Because usually I'm just
Yeah.
trying to get rid of like those like when this are, especially because I make house music, like when you have the snare and the kick hitting, like that's always going to be a big peak that you need to get rid of.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
always
Like,
Clipper's great
fun.
for that.
yeah, that's always a fun.
That is
Activity.
a battle, right?
Yeah, it's a battle right there. Every time you're like, all right, now
the
time to
kick,
put in
snare
the clap.
hitting at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why I prefer claps, because I can go wide.
wide,
I
yeah.
can
Yeah.
like make them super high endy. I can, even make
Yeah.
a second kick that's just like a little tailored to the clap, and it's a lot easier than trying to tailor it to a snare drum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caleb, would you actually be willing to demonstrate that? Because that's something I always try to do, but I like every time I try and do it, I feel like I'm just doing it wrong, or I feel like there could be a better way to do it.
Like a kick and
Kick and snare kind of thing.
combo.
Unless it'll take like
no,
It won't be hard.
We can do a quickie.
Yeah, you
We'll
guys
just-
should be masters at that by now.
We'll just
I'd imagine.
I feel like you also just got to pick a clap or a snare
Right.
that doesn't have like a super low fundamental.
True.
Like I
That's
feel like
very good.
I usually try
yeah.
and pick them like higher up.
Yeah. What you want is something that works with the kick well.
Yeah,
Like-
exactly. And
Yeah. It's just like finding a nice little
Right.
sample that will work well with it.
We're
And
just
then
gonna find a
on
kick.
top of that, then you got your tricks that you can get going.
I feel like a lot of times too, like the claps and snares that sound the best on their own aren't the ones that are gonna sound the best over a kick. 'Cause
Right.
like you want something that's not taking up all the real estate, because you need to let them give each other space.
Yeah.
That's fair. Beautiful.
Like sometimes
Yes.
it's
Get just a sick ass boot cat going.
but yeah,
sick ass boot cat.
sometimes a sample will sound like really good on its own, and then you'll put it in the song, and it's just like it just does not work at all.
It's a nightmare on my system because SonarWorks is going, but it doesn't cover
Right, the browser.
the browser
I hate
output
it so much.
So you'll be listening through, and then you drag it in. It's like it doesn't sound the same at all.
But yeah, I have the
Yeah.
same system.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's why a lot
That's
of times
why.
I'll pull stuff from Splice where I have SonarWorks on.
Right.
But
Right,
I've
that
been
makes
turning
sense.
SonarWorks off my computer on like the main thing because it's been making my focus rate like freak out.
Right.
So I just end it from the start.
Yeah, I don't have it on either.
Yeah, it's annoying. Why are we at 20? That's
Oh.
why.
20?
Why are we not at 128? That's what I tried to type earlier, and it must have gone to.
Dude, I didn't even know there was such a thing as a BPM 20.
No wonder it was so weird earlier. I wonder I was having.
It's my
such an
favorite
issue.
tempo, bro.
Yeah, me too.
Beats per minute.
The 303 down there is just freaking out.
Too many.
It's also I can't see because the light, so I can't see your lines on Ableton right now.
The lines are hard to see already anyway. It's just
Another nice thing about Ableton 11, you can
You
just,
like change the color,
you
right?
can just make them darker.
Yeah, that would. I feel like
It's
Ableton
super
11
nice.
didn't have that much, but that was one thing that I
That
was
was
surprisingly excited about.
yeah, I was so excited about it. I was like, you can do this now.
I could never see the lines, so yeah, it's nice that you can make them darker. But yeah, most times when I download samples from Splice now, I play music in the background actually when I'm going through the samples.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I feel like there was at first when I got Splice, I would download all these samples that I'd be like, oh, these samples sound great, and then I'd try putting them in songs, and I realized that like a lot of the top sample packs on Splice, all the samples sound really good by themselves, but like when they're all taking up so much space that you like can't use them in a song.
Right, it's kind of
So
difficult.
what you want are more like you want samples that don't take up that much space but sound good, and like it's easy to find those by just playing a song and then like going through the samples on Splice, and then you can hear if it sounds good in a professional song, and then if it does, then you
Right.
just download those
Which
samples.
only really help. Well, I mean, it kind
That's
of
clever.
helps you, but it also it really specifically has to do with the mix of the song that you're listening to them up against.
I think that's true to a certain extent, but
I
there's
mean,
so
hugely.
there's so many bad samples on Splice that it's helped me save a lot of my samples, and now
Why
I feel
not
like
just listen to your own song that you're working on, though?
Right, that's
'Cause-
exactly what I do.
yeah,
I just have the loop that we're working on, and I'll just sit there and go through Splice for like a half an hour.
I guess I never download samples when I'm working on a song.
Oh, really?
It's
Oh.
always like
That's
I,
the only time
I
I
always
download
like pick out a
samples.
time to like
Really?
download samples.
Interesting.
But yeah, maybe I should do that.
Yeah, I have it open on one of the
Even
screens.
up
and I
against
just-
whatever reference track you're using could work really good.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, guys, we're making a decent kick real quick.
I don't have a donation spot, but thank you.
Oh yeah, that's super nice of him.
Oh my god!
I appreciate it, but yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just give him some follows on social media. Check
Yeah.
out his tracks.
Yeah, follow me on Instagram.
DJ Hookline.
Yeah, go jump on the Always 400 Discord.
Yeah, you can hit the invite link at always400.com.
Yeah.
All right, that's a fine enough one. Let's find that's a clap.
Is that a clap?
Kinda
It's like a
sick.
clap Chi would use.
That is the pace for that clap.
Just aye, and an English dude.
That clap was British.
Hey, look,
Get down.
this is the exact clap you need right here, dude. This is textbook. Oops. Oh my goodness.
I like that clap.
Yeah,
But-
dude. 707. Who doesn't like this clap?
707. What is it called? 707 clap 1?
Or
Is it my 707
1,
one?
2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4.
I think it is mine.
Is that just like one of the ones that comes with Ableton?
No, I made all these. I took a 707 clap
okay.
and I made a bunch of claps out of it.
I see.
Might not be mine though. Might be from another pack.
I
You
think
can
this
find
is
out
just
very easily by right-clicking and go to whatever.
Yeah, thanks for the love, man. But like, the manuals, but all this, dude. Not even guys. It's just
I
this
don't know why it's
mastermind
mentioned.
over
There
here.
it is.
But yeah, that's cool.
Dirty House Shits project. Yeah, I think it's
Dirty
just.
House Shits
No, I think
project.
this is just.
It's an old track,
Yeah, dude.
and it is shit. I
I mean, I think
vaguely recall it being shit.
Real quick.
I think this kick and clap are good enough to demonstrate.
No. Why?
I think the clap is fine, honestly. If anything, the kick.
I just we need like the groove. Otherwise, I'm
Zach
gonna have a real hard
Must
time.
add
Zach-
open hat.
Zach always tried to hurry it along
I know.
over here. Hey, we got
Okay.
time, baby. We got all the
Alright,
time.
So here
We
we
could
are.
demonstrate the fucking compressor thing we were talking about again.
I just feel
Yeah.
like we were like going off on a. I feel like it had been a while since we started talking about this.
It's
That's
been
fair.
like 10 minutes.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's just how you do it when you're a professional podcaster.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we make money for this.
Yeah, dude.
So.
Yo, dude.
Cute.
This is a sick beat. I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah.
I've ever heard it before.
I mean, we could
Come
keep.
on.
We could go, and
Come
I'll
on.
make a fire beat right now.
We
but
should
we're
do that
not.
one day. Okay, do the snare thing first, and then
Yeah,
maybe.
that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna roll off the
No,
bottom
just
end.
kidding. Don't do that.
Here, I'll do it like this so you can see. I'm gonna roll off the
Hey, if
bottom.
you guys
end
want to hang out, I will make a fire beat right now.
here. I'll make a fire beat right now, guys. Except I'm gonna do it like this.
Yeah, I love doing
A
it
little
like
more
that.
tailored. A little more. I want to keep that, but I want. Come here. That's 2. So that's okay for that. But before we do that,
This is definitely part of making them sound good together.
yes. Where's G-Clip?
Absolutely.
Don't you use G-Clip or no?
Nope.
What do you
Oh yeah,
use?
you don't use
Glue.
G-clip.
Oh, you just glue clip?
Yep.
But that only clips if you slam it into it
Yep. And I just turn it down.
with like a util or just on its
However.
channel. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
You're
it's
wild
supposed-
man.
It's supposed to be
Wow,
like
man.
analog clipping through there, right?
Yeah, I think it's a soft clipper.
Yeah.
Do you have a Smexy?
Smexoscope.
Yeah. Did I not control F that? Isn't it S parentheses M? Yes. Okay.
Oh yeah, that one. I always forget about that.
For some reason, it like stopped working on my computer.
Oh, that
Really?
sucks.
I
That'll
mean,
happen.
Weird.
I've just been using the JO oscilloscope, which is like with Max for Live.
That's cool.
But yeah, the Smexoscope, I don't know what happened.
It does
It was
clip a little
working
bit.
for me for like months, and then one day it just like decided it wasn't gonna work anymore.
It was like, nah, I'm good. Did my time.
What do you mean it clips it a little bit?
I was just wanted to see,
Oh, without if it
clipping.
clips.
and it is clipping it a little bit. It's kind of hard to tell because it won't stay.
I mean, you're barely touching it.
right.
I mean, typically a clap adds
There-
like
there you
2 or
can
3
see the-
dB at least.
There you can see the clipping a little bit easier. Yeah, see
there you
that's
go.
off. That's on. So it is doing some
Crazy
clippage.
different.
we'll boost it into it a little bit because I'd like to have a little bit of clippage on there. We're gonna move our Smexiscope to oh, there we go. Now it's showing a little more. See how much more the kick is getting it. Another thing to take note is like the clap never really needs to be like crazy loud. Like I feel like I hear a lot of house tracks where the kick is turned down to make sure you can like have the clap loud. Where I don't really feel like that's necessary. If you just turn the clap down a little bit, you can still hear it in the mix just fine.
Yeah.
It's just not like this crazy loud thing, you know?
I think a lot of times too I hear they just layer it, so they'll have one that's like mono down the middle that's not that loud, and then they'll have two on the side, so it'll still sound big without like being that loud in the middle.
Another thing to note, even though it's still on the sides, it still is interacting with the kick. So there's still some things to take in mind with that. You can still go a little wily.
Also, the clap's going to come out a lot in the master processing and the group chains and all that jazz. You're going to get a lot more clap after you get through all of your mastering and all that jazz.
Yeah, I've noticed too, like, now that I'm always like, so I'm always putting saturation on the drum group, and then I'm always putting saturation on my master too.
Good.
And so I feel like everything can be a little bit, you don't need all that high end at first, because you're going to be adding more with like each layer of like saturation. So yeah, you can just keep your sounds like toned down at the beginning. I feel like when I was first starting, I could never make my sounds bright enough. And then once I could make my sounds bright, I was making everything way too bright for way too long.
It is a hard balance to strike.
Yeah. And then I think now I usually can get it like the right amount of brightness. I mean, you can always improve, but yeah, I feel like there was a while though where I couldn't get it bright, and then I was like super excited that I could get it bright. So then I would just make everything way too bright.
Right.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
And then you end up smashing your highs.
Almost always boosting some highs in the mastering. And even like the mids and everything. Like everything's kind of getting boosted as you go up the frequency spectrum. To some extent. Which it is nice to understand that it's one of those things that takes a long time to get understood, though. I feel like I don't understand how you're doing that.
I know, right?
These are only on your screen. Just
now I know.
Just for a second, so I can so I can
understood. That was trippy.
Yeah, right. I was like, whoa, I didn't know you could do that.
It was like passing in.
So another thing
That's
we're gonna do on this
hilarious.
kick real quick because it needs it. Oops. I'm just gonna do this with Saturn. If you don't have Saturn, you can do it through multi-band means. I'm just saturating the knocky part of my kick because you can hear like a lot of boxy tone, but I don't want to necessarily take it out with an EQ because a lot of the times it'll just lose the ball sack of the kick. So I'll distort it first.
Where is the X?
There we
It's
go.
over there.
And now I've been realizing kicks that look like this are my friend. So I go like this, and if we're in this stage, I might as well show you.
Where it like ducks down in the middle.
Where it ducks right there.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
then you fill it with clappage?
You fill it with clappage. You also fill it with compressed versions of itself.
Oh, right.
So I'll slam it with this compressor at a 4-to-1. Oops. Forgot the numpads off. With a little more attack. Not that much attack.
Oh, yeah, the scope is definitely seeing this.
Okay, and then probably not that much. Just give it a little more attack. And then we will limit it as well on that alt key, kids. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So now you got a little bit of that dippage. Clap can kind of sit in there a little bit. Can actually a little bit of that, and then a little bit of EQ on that kick post. Bottom end. So now that those are set up relatively, the clap now is basically a game of cat and mouse as you build the rest of the track. As you keep adding things like Dave was saying, now that they're both like set up to sit together, as you're bringing things into compression through the drum group and then the master group or the pre-master group, then the master group and all that stuff, a lot of times I'm still turning down because my kick and snare are in their own group in like the drum group. I'll be turning them down and up constantly to find the right volume to have them at, because the clap will at times try and poke through a bunch of shit because he's a wily son of a bitch. But I guess for this case we'll clip the drums like I would just straight up. Let's actually, for the sake of it.
Yeah, if you wanted to just get rid of the clap, you could have that light coming on only when the clap hits. You know what I mean?
Right there.
Yeah.
But I like it.
But yeah, obviously.
Because now I get a little bit of character. Yeah, now I get a little bit of character out of the whole thing. Plus, then you could do
and it's louder.
This thing. Although I would just do this. At least on my drums. And then I only need to bring in the dry so much, and my drums are banging. And the clap isn't causing it to peak out or anything. Well, let's see. Oops. Yep, pretty close. They're both staying pretty darn even. And then, of course, you just do this.
Oh, always. Yeah, on every drum track.
And there's house.
Yeah.
Done, folks.
Everybody knows this is what the pros do.
Yeah, you need some bongos at least.
Yeah, add some bongos.
I suppose that's true.
Yeah. Limit that.
So did that explain a little bit, or at least show you a little bit there, Austin? It's basically
100%.
Yeah, it's like, you know, normal compression to taste, but then just matching the volume correctly between the kick and the clap, so that you can
EQing it.
Yeah, glue them together.
Doing a little bit of
clipping. You basically want to marry them, and however, and there's like, you know, there's different ways, like basically is the rule of thumb with everything in music production is you have to address the gain, you have to address the frequency, and are those the only two things? Gain and frequency?
There's a lot more things than that.
Well, I know, but what else do things do? Things only modulate the frequency or the gain.
Yeah, I heard like Bob Powers or some one of the older heads was talking about how there's only two things you can do to a sound.
Right.
You can like affect it vertically or horizontally.
Right, exactly. Vertically.
So either you're doing dynamics, which is like vertically.
Right, and that's gain.
Or you're doing horizontally, which is like reverb,
frequency.
delay,
or
phaser, flanger, all that.
Yeah.
right. That's
It's a fun way to think about
It
frequency.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is.
But yeah, it's all related.
Right.
All you
Yeah.
can do
Thanks
is
for doing that, though. That
all
was
you
cool.
can do is go up and down or left and right.
Right. We are at an hour. If you want to come up here
Hilarious.
and deep dive on your user manual.
Okay.
if-
We can just go into some weird
Yeah.
stuff that you can do in Vital. I can just do some weird sound design stuff.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
please do.
Fuck
Yeah.
Okay.
I love
That
sound
sounds
sound
great.
design.
There's a beat up here.
There's a beat up there. Okay. I was gonna say we could open that thing we were working on the other day.
Yeah,
Sure.
just Use that.
Uh,
Hey,
Just
what's
use-
up, Firefly?
What's up?
What's up?
Hey, baby.
Just
yeah,
make a new
whatever.
one. Just
Okay.
make a new one.
Yeah, whatever you want to
We
do.
don't need to open the thing we made the other
Yeah,
day.
you have the floor, so.
It's got some super.
I'd prefer
crazy
we
groove.
don't.
Okay.
Okay. No sneak peeks.
Oh no, it's no sneak peeks into my hard drive of songs that
Hang
will
on, I'm gonna
probably
get
never
you-
see the light of day.
Yeah.
Always 400.
That was a good sesh though.
That
We have-
was.
we have
I the
another
numpad turned off, so you don't have to worry
Track
about
that
it.
will probably see the light of day very soon.
I'm actually just
Ooh, exciting.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you'll have to
Okay.
be there to hear it.
Mm.
You know, that's
Mm-hmm.
how it goes.
Yep.
All right.
Well, I like the tuck on those. Yeah, dude.
Okay, that's funny. My shirt's green, but you can still see it.
Damn.
I know, right?
I would have thought it would be out of here. All right. Here, let me get settled in.
Yeah, man.
All right. Yeah. So I know I can just go over some of like the random sound design stuff that I've been into lately, or things that I think have been like trending too. Here, I can probably just type in Vital. Here we go. Oh, you have it in a folder called Matt Title.
Titel, I think.
All
Hmm.
right. Is this hotel?
That's
Okay,
it.
nice.
Titel, I think is how you say it. Yeah.
Okay. EL?
Okay, Titel.
Titel?
All right. So yeah, I think one thing that I hear a lot of nowadays is so I'm gonna probably go into two things. So there's people have been super into like weird modular sounds. So if you listen to like Dirty Bird, like a lot of their new stuff is just like what?
Yas.
Yas. Okay. Yeah. But so if you listen to like Dirty Bird, a lot of their songs are just like some fat drums and then some just
Mhm.
weird modular sounds that yeah. So maybe we can go
Sounds like someone was fucking with a synthesizer.
yeah. And like a West Coast synth design if you like know what the
Ooh.
difference is between that kind of
Oh.
stuff. Where it's kind of just like atonal and like whereas like East Coast sound design was where like they play it on a keyboard, it's much more like musical, whereas West Coast sound design was like they were just like fuck tones, like we're just going to make some random weird noises and figure out just make some weird stuff until we get something that sounds cool.
Nice.
Gotcha.
Here, so maybe I'll start with one of the easier trends that I've seen lately, where like I think a lot of like dubstep especially does this, and so it all comes down to like comb filters and delays and chorus.
Totally.
So at the end of the day, comb filter is caused by if you take two sounds and you just play one a little bit delayed after the first, it starts canceling out some of the frequencies, which causes a comb filter. So here, like, here, can I turn on this? I would rather use this in front of me. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so you can actually use coarse to like make a cool like comb filtery sound. So the feedback on here is essentially just going to feed the course back into the course. So you're going to essentially a course is just delays that are detuned slightly, which this is actually a visual right here of all the delays. So they're all moving around and they're all just slightly detuned. And then you can feed that all back into itself. And actually, so a lot of times that causes phase cancellation though. So a lot of times if you actually use the negative feedback, it'll feed a phase inverted version of it back into itself.
Oh, cool.
Here,
Yeah,
let me-
that does sound like a comb.
Yeah, so Aaron, if you do it like all the way, you'll get like
Yeah,
some stuff like
yeah.
that.
Beautiful.
Some reverb filter.
And so
stuff
yeah, I
going
feel
on
like I
there.
hear these
Right.
types of sounds a lot lately. And so you can do this with the chorus, or you can actually do it with the delay too. It'll sound a little different because they won't be detuned. So here, let's turn this feedback up. Let's turn the negative feedback up. So they have this on most delays and most like choruses. You can actually feed it back negative, which is just phase inverted, and a lot of times that'll have less phase cancellation issues. Here, let me get the utility on here so we can hear the phase cancellation.
It's nice. I'll do that with reverb sometimes.
Yeah, so you can actually
Invert the phase in the reverb channel.
here, or you can actually make the sound with reverbs too, because reverbs are actually just comb filters, and they're messing with the phase and
Right,
stuff
they're
too.
just delay.
So what you can do with a reverb, I actually haven't tried this with the Vital one, I don't think, but you can like turn the size all the way down, turn the wet all the way up, and then you can probably just like take one of the left channel or something. 'Cause a lot of times you're gonna have like a bunch of phase cancellation, otherwise, with reverb specifically. But you can get some really weird like metallic sounding stuff out of certain reverbs. But here, let's see if we can do it real quick. Oh, and there's a chorus on the reverb too. I don't know if this is gonna work with this one, but here, let me go back to the delay. So yeah, and then change this to seconds. Bring this down like really far. Yeah, and so it's starting to sound like metallic.
Rhythm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So here, and this is just the left channel. This is the stereo. Okay, so I guess for the delay, it doesn't. Since they're not being detuned, it's
Right, it's not gonna cancel itself.
Yeah, here, and we can change it though to like ping pong or something. Here. Yeah, and then now we got some stereo field on there. But yeah, my favorite is to use the chorus though, because I think you can get some crazy sounds out of there, and it sounds really cool. But yeah, it's the same idea as the delay. It's just there's just pitch bend on it essentially. But yeah, so you can get some really cool sounds. Let's sum it to mono. So that's how it sounds with the negative feedback. That's how it sounds with the regular feedback.
Right.
So yeah, I usually just play around with both of them, and usually one will sound better than the other. Either negative will sound better or positive will sound better, but it's always good to have both. You can also turn this all the way down to freeze, so you can just pick like a sweet spot with these like depth controls.
Oh,
so,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So then here you can put it in mono and then just like look for sweet spots, and like turn the feedback way up. So that like sounds pretty good right there, and this is in mono. So then when we turn this off, it should sound like really fat.
Right.
So yeah, this is something that I hear a lot of people doing this type of thing now. And then also even after this, you could like add another filter here, and you could set this to like a comb filter or something and do some more like weird comb filtering on it.
Right.
Here, I don't know, just pick one of these. Here, turn this up. And also on here, so if you turn the resonance up, it's the same thing. It's mimicking positive feedback.
Oh, it is? Okay.
It's mimicking regular feedback versus this is mimicking
the inverted feedback?
the inverted feedback. And the inverted feedback will give you more odd order harmonics, and the regular feedback will give you more even order harmonics.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Says my brain.
So yeah, here, then we can like pull this on here, then get like a LFO on here. You can get some cool stuff out of here. Here, let's bring it down low.
And then put a distortion unit after that and slam it.
Yeah, so
Send
maybe I'll turn the cut down and then put it into a distortion.
Send it.
So here, I really like the Seinfeld Distortion, and
I do too.
So what happens with Seinfeld Distortion is basically when it
I do
hits
too.
when it hits the wall, it basically plays a mirror image of
I
the
do
wave
too.
back.
God damn it. Wait.
Sorry, Zach. I had to.
It plays a mirror image back. Oh, I think I've heard that before.
Yes, or here, if we had that oscilloscope up, we could show it
it's-
on like a sine
You
wave
could do
or
it
something.
to a sine wave, but if it went to a sine wave, the sine wave would be going up, and then as soon as it hit the wall, it goes back down like a scoop, and
Yep.
then comes back up. So you're creating two little
What?
peaky boys.
Yep.
Weird.
Peaky boys.
It just inverts it.
But
It
so-
inverts the signal at the peak.
But yeah, and so if you think about like clipping and limiting and compressing in general, like it's all sort of doing the same things in different ways.
Right.
But it'll all have different like harmonic characters, and I
Yeah.
think the Seinfeld, it just has like a good harmonic character, and I think it usually sounds pretty good.
It
You
gets
don't wanna-
aggressive fast.
You
too.
don't, yeah, you don't want to do this, but like what you do is
Do you not
I
want to
mean,
do
ma-
that? Sounds pretty.
but yeah,
You
usually
got to automate it right.
maybe if you put it on like 6 decibels though or so, here, it usually sounds pretty like
Pretty meaty.
it just sounds good. That's like usually somewhere around like between
Oh,
like
yeah.
3 decibels and 10 decibels is like where you want to be for Seinfeld. Yeah.
Heck yeah, dude. Let's go.
And then yeah, if you were gonna try and make some rhythm, you could do some
Got to put it to the volume as well.
Oh, true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
LFO the volume.
Yep.
That's
That's it sounds like a drum.
Sounds fucking
And you
sick.
also have to automate the resonance on the comb with that LFO also. So the resonance is peaking up every time it goes.
Here, hold on. I want to play with this chorus a little more. Here, something else useful that they have in here is that you can just turn the spread down, and then it makes a bandpass filter, so you can cut out like the low end of your course, so you're not messing with the bass frequencies. So you can just turn the spread down, turn this up.
oh, here we go. Better.
It needs more distortion and shit.
Yeah,
needs
I
to
was going to
be
say,
louder.
it needs like 5 of those distortion units. Which, again, my least favorite part about this synth is the same thing with Serum,
Serum, yeah.
is that I can't duplicate effects.
Yeah. Give me 15.
Yeah, why can't I duplicate the chorus
of
as
the
many times as I
same
want?
thing.
Right.
Why? Why is that so hard?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go use Biome. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to
Put
use
as many as I want.
phase play.
Here. And
Serum
then
2 is
I'm gonna
coming
go
though,
use
so we'll
Face
see.
Play.
We'll see.
Oh,
That's
he
true.
better.
That's true.
He fucking
He
better.
better.
Right?
Steve.
Steve,
I
I
know-
know you're
Steve.
listening.
Yeah, we know you're
Steve.
here right now.
We know you're listening, Steve. Homie.
Also
Don't we?
talking to you, Matt.
Yeah. Matt.
here, but
Not
yeah,
just
and
kidding.
so
tell.
the flanger is actually another. This is another comb filter, so you can just keep adding like comb
Yeah.
filters.
The flanger is actually really dope on this.
Yeah,
Is it?
I really
use
like
it
how they
almost
set up
every sound.
the flanger and flanger on here are really cool because it's
The flanger and flanger.
they don't set it up like a flanger, like it's just a comb filter, which I
Right.
think, but it's a comb filter that would result from a flanger, which I think is so much more to the point and
Yes.
convenient. And
Agreed.
Aren't those
yeah.
like those? Never mind.
Here, I don't think that's what I was trying to do. Here, I was trying to put that on the center and turn that down. All right, but yeah, I don't really know where I'm going with this.
We're making sounds.
That's
We're
okay. I'm
exploring
enjoying
vinyl
it. Yeah.
together.
Yeah, this is how it's
Fucking
done.
Hookline rhythm.
This is
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Here, and that here, maybe I
Just
can
tweak and tweak until something cool happens.
Yeah.
and then I can work on some modular thing now too.
modular thing.
So yeah, so I think that's one.
original point that he had started talking about.
Yeah, so
Oh,
this is one trend that I see a lot of in like sound design is that, and it's not just in like rhythm. It's in they use this in house music too and stuff. But yeah, it's just lots of like chorus delays. They're just doing. It's essentially just you're using comb filters in different ways, and then you're just distorting the comb filters too. So you just do comb filter distortion, comb filter distortion, comb filter distortion, comb filter distortion. And you can stack them up as much as you want
Stop.
until you just get something that sounds cool. Oh, I forgot
Go
this is in
on.
mono too. Here,
That's already how I do
Oh,
things.
it's so much better.
here, hold on.
That's
I know.
that's already how I do things.
Let
What
me-
is this modularness about it? I don't understand.
Oh, no, so I haven't started that yet.
I just call
Totally
that sound
different thing.
design. Comb filters and distortion.
No, so this isn't the modular thing.
The modular thing is the sound design part too.
I'm confused.
The
but
mud pie
please.
design.
This is
Go
just
on.
this is just comb filters and distortion.
Oh.
Nice.
Here.
So,
yeah.
I thought we were doing the modular thing.
I was about to start it, and then I kept doing this.
Because comb filters and distortion.
Yeah. Comb
Dope-
filters and distortion are
dopeness.
cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like, I feel like most of the dubstep you hear now too, and then they'll just take something like that here, and then they'll just make it into audio.
Right.
Yeah, and then fuck with the audio.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure other people on the podcast have done that.
Yeah.
That's not going to be very long. Oh, okay.
Something I've noticed that's like trending in dubstep right now is frequency shifters.
Just hit close.
Out of nowhere, people are like, yes, fucking frequency shift everything.
It's on the other screen.
It's fine. It's just going to be on our screen.
Hit close on that little guy that popped up
Yeah,
over there.
you're going to have to go. Oh, there you go. You got it.
Thank you,
He's
sir.
got it.
Yeah.
He's
here.
worked on this computer before.
I have.
That's true.
All right. Yeah, so let's just stretch the fuck out of
Oh. Oh, that's sick.
Oh, I like the beat in the background.
Hey, all right.
this. Here, so
I
then
made it.
you can put this.
On the spot, fucking sauce.
Here, let's put this on 16th notes.
Yeah, right there. Yep.
And then
Story
here,
of
let
my
me
life right there.
put some groove on here.
16th.
Here,
Follow an end. Go.
where
I love it already.
where are the grooves in Ableton 10? I actually don't even.
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
Um,
I don't
just-
use
Which
it.
one do you want?
Should I
The
just
like
use this?
Logic one?
Should I just use this
right
one again?
click.
I was just gonna use one of the MPC ones. I can
Just
probably
right click in the fucking thing
Here, I think this should work.
where it
I-
says
I
drop
use-
There
click,
we go. Got it.
and it shows up.
I got it.
There you go.
Here.
See,
Congratulations.
I use the MPC ones for hip hop and the Logic ones for house.
Okay. Here, let me
I'm
try
like
a Logic
really
one.
I do Logic 16th 51. That one's like. Because
I'm not using them a lot.
the 52 is just too much swing. Really, I use the 51 on almost every house beat on
Oh, nice.
everything. It's on literally everything
I was
Okay.
doing.
Well, I
Besides,
should
like,
just
the
do that
kick.
too then.
besides the kick.
I was
Since we
doing
make house
all my
music together.
I was doing all my
Kick and
groove by
snare, it's not on
hand
those two.
until recently, but I'm too.
I mean,
I don't have the time to be putting groove on every single thing anymore. Like
well, one, a lot of it's already off the grid anyways. Because I like make it to be just off the grid,
Totally.
but then it needs that extra little bit of everything being gelled together. So I'll just basically grab everything, Control J, so everything just gets consolidated in itself. And then while you still have everything selected, you just go down to the little drop-down menu and just add the groove to everything all at once.
all right, here. Well, here I'm done with the
And-
sound, but
Woo! Bravo.
there we go. Whatever.
That's sick, dude.
Sound.
Are we
like
gonna
an
do a
applause
modular
right here.
thing?
Huh?
You gonna do like a modular thing?
Yeah. So here I'm gonna do a modular.
Wait,
thing
play it
now.
with the beat real fast. I just want to hear it.
Oh shit. Here. It's like here. This needs
It's way
to be
loud.
like nothing.
Ooh, ooh. DJ Hookline.
DJ Hookline.
Just strap it right onto him. This is what his music sounds like. It's much better, people.
Yeah, it's calm down. Calm
People,
down, ladies and gentlemen.
calm down.
All
The
right.
chat was blowing up for a sec. Like,
I know.
I haven't even been looking at it.
No, it has not been
Okay.
blowing up.
yeah.
Here, it has not been blown up.
It has
It's been rather average.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna use the diode, and I'm just gonna loop this. Let's do some. I'll just do like pretty much the same idea that
Yeah, do that.
we were working on the other
Mhm.
day. So I'll use like some Phrygian, like weird
Oh, let's go.
shit. It's like the super minor scale. So here,
Super minor.
I'll just start it in
Dude.
C.
I supermine Bitcoin.
Dude, I'm a super miner of Bitcoin.
That's right.
Here,
Supermine Dogecoin. We're going to the moon right now.
Slow down, dude.
Can you mine Dogecoin?
Yeah.
No. Can you?
You
Yeah.
can mine every
I
coin.
like
How do you think it gets
everybody's-
out there?
I don't know if Dogecoin is proof of stake or proof of work,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Once.
I like anybody who has an actual opinion on that.
I know, I know.
now,
I love
based
it.
on my
I love
knowledge of you guys.
Yeah. All right, so here, this is the minor, and then if you want the Phrygian, you just take your second note and bring it down.
Get that weirdness.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Um,
Dre used to. That's like his favorite move.
Talking about Doctor?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The
He did that all the
dog?
time, where he dropped the 3 in the chord progression too. So he would use like a regular minor with Phrygian all the time.
Why does it sound
Yeah.
like? Oh,
It sounds dope.
That makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
Here, Control A. Let's put
Like
this in.
you would just switch between them.
Yeah, like in the
That
middle
makes
of the
sense.
chord progression,
Yeah,
just
that makes
drop
sense.
it.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Mhm.
Like dropping that third mid line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It just gives you that
Yeah.
like, ugh.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like jazzy, but it's not jazzy. It's dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. God damn it, Dr. Dre.
I know, right?
God damn it, Dre.
Fucking A.
And
We're
I guess
talking
I
to
shouldn't
you,
say all
Dre.
the time. I literally broke down one track and he did that. So, but I imagine,
Yeah.
you know,
No, they all sound the same. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got his sound.
yeah. So,
All right. So here. So I feel like modular sounds. Everybody like talks about how good analog synths are, and I think I've used some analog synths and they're fun, and I think they're cool to have because you have a physical control for like everything.
Or you can
Which-
put your hands on
And they
like
sound
3.
fucking amazing.
Right, they sound
yeah.
dirty.
I
It
mean, I think
so sick.
I think you can. I think a lot of what people like about the sound is that they just add saturation, but it's like you can
Right,
just,
it's
you
colored.
can just add saturation yourself.
Right.
Which here I'll
not the same saturation.
Right.
though.
It's
I
not a
guess.
physical tube.
It's
A
not
physical
the same
tube
thing.
is going to give me many joys.
You're getting so much different things.
Uh-huh.
You
But
you could.
I agree.
kinda
I agree
do
with
it,
you. I agree with you.
All right. Here. So
And
here.
we're gonna try.
Yeah, because I don't have.
We
Unless
don't,
y'all
we don't
in
have
the chat
modular gear,
wanna
so we try.
donate to Always 400 and
We'll
buy us a
review
rack.
it. We'll bring it on the pod and review it and all that, and you know,
Sure.
maybe we'll give you a good word.
I mean, for real, I'm intrigued right now because I want to know what you're talking about with this modular.
So basically, it's just a bunch
oh,
of just get a
let's
bunch
go.
of these LFOs, and then that's all. That's now you got a modular synth.
Sure. Okay, I see what you're.
Yeah, and then so with the Arpeggiator and Ableton, if you hit random other, it's gonna play just random notes, which is why I just put the Phrygian scale in, and so now it's just gonna play random notes from the Phrygian scale.
Cool.
And then here, so I'm just gonna take this like LFO, and here this is gonna sound bad for a little bit, but
That's okay.
just wait it out. So here I'm gonna put this on the rate. And so now we're going to get some like random rhythms here. I can't see this behind the webcam,
Yep.
what I'm doing.
I see what you mean. You can look on the screen to your right and
Oh,
kind of
okay.
like get an idea of where you are. That's exactly what I do.
All right, here, let me turn the depth
Because
down.
the webcam is like literally right in
You
the
gotta be a
Yeah.
pro when you're
Oh.
playing Jamie.
Yeah, we just got to follow. I don't know who that was,
Nice.
but I
Oh.
appreciate you.
But here, yes, I'm turning the depth down. I want this to be like
We heard
around
it.
like 16th notes.
Sure, but a little bit of variation.
Yeah, just so it's like some.
Can we not set up the little like
Love it.
follow image
Here.
until we get a
And then-
verified or whatever?
I just don't think it's
There's a
on.
way.
It's just not on this screen.
Oh, it shows up. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, I see.
it shows up on all the other screens, but for some reason it's not set up on the screen. I just now realized. Thanks for
fine.
letting me know.
Mhm.
All right, here, and then I'm gonna start modulating things in Vital. So here, I know I'm gonna want to do the filter like amount. So here, I'm gonna hit configure.
And just do all the things.
Yeah, probably grab those two for now. Here, and then I'll just keep thinking. Oh,
Yeah, you didn't hit config. You just hit open.
oh, true. Yeah. No, that time I hit it. But, God damn.
You got to do one at a time.
All right.
Are you stoned, dude?
Nah.
You
I
sound
am.
stoned.
All right. Here we go.
we
I could
we
be
both
more
look like
stoned,
there's
though.
a pipe over here. Like,
I know,
it's
that's what I
not
was
there.
thinking.
It's not
Like,
there.
Wait, where's the more?
Here. So yeah, let me put one of these on like the cutoff amount.
I'd go grab some. I feel like we're close enough to be done though.
Right.
We'll just wait.
Okay, so you just keep stacking LFOs on different parameters.
Fuck yeah. Basically,
Yeah.
give yourself as much randomness as you possibly can.
Right.
Yeah,
Within,
I don't do this
you know,
enough.
like make it to where it's hitting a lot of like interesting spots,
Mm-hmm.
but then also doing things weird
Right.
enough
Right.
to where it's gonna give you some like magic here and there.
Yeah. So here, yeah. So I'll go into the.
I've been doing
chorus.
this on every house track.
Nice.
See, I have, but not
Maybe
like
not
this.
like this
Nope.
exactly,
Here.
but
Configure is
Close.
open now. Here, yeah. So go to effects. I'll do this on the feedback. I'll do this on the depth. That should probably be good for another 2.
Now, folks, if you're listening in the gym right now on headphones, he
Mm-hmm.
basically has an arpeggiator affecting a vital, and it's affecting it on just random order. So he just has a scale, and it's just playing random notes. And then after the Vital, he has a series of LFOs that he's just mapping to random crap on the Vital and the Arpeggiator.
Somewhat random.
Somewhat
important
random.
things.
Yeah, so
Right.
I'm doing it on like the filter cutoff and the chorus.
And I assume what you could do is you could then group all of this and map all these things to macros. And then you could map like the rates of all these LFOs to macros and sit there and play on your MPC like it is a modular and kind of fuck with it as you're recording all this stuff.
I
Yeah,
could
dude.
not see what I'm doing.
So, the
The boy van.
The boy van?
Boy even.
Boeven?
The
Boy
Boyven?
van?
Just curious if Vital has a ring or reverb comb filter mode.
Like a ring
Oh.
mod?
I gotta say no.
A ring?
No, it had the comb filter.
It does have a comb.
I don't think-
Reverb comb filter is
Oh,
what
no,
he
it
said.
does not have a...
I
Oh.
don't think they have the reverb one like Serum does.
Yeah, that's a very specific filter.
Yeah,
Yes.
let me just open it up real quick and
Can't
check.
have
It's
that.
like a...
Um,
Made for serum, right?
format, com-
But it reminds me of a impulse response.
Right.
Just coded into a comb, basically, is what it
Gotcha.
feels like to me. I don't know
yeah,
if that's true.
they don't have the reverb filter. And then here was the other thing. Oh, the ring. I don't think they have ring modulation.
That would have to be on like a frequency
Oh
shift.
no, they have ring modulation. Hold on. Here it's in here.
Where? That's right. That's
It's over
right.
here.
That's, I was
So
gonna
they
say,
have
I was
ring
like, they do have
modulation
one,
here.
but you have to have something to ring mod against.
Yeah, so this is pulling
Can
it
you
in.
do it
from
against itself?
I think it just goes against silence, so therefore it's just oscillating.
Well, no. So ring modulation is amplitude modulation, but it's a specific type of amplitude modulation
Right.
where it like mirrors it. So it's pulling it from oscillator 2. Oscillator 2 is just not playing.
Is
right.
there
So it's
a-
pulling it from.
You can't do it
silence.
from itself, though.
You cannot. Yeah. So that was something I noticed too. Is
What
actually
is
you
the-
cannot do FM or
what
ring
is the
modulation
last one?
from itself.
From the sample,
Sample.
or
From
the,
Oh,
the
from the
sampler.
sample. Okay, gotcha.
the
Yeah.
noise
Oscillator.
which
Yeah.
is a sampler.
All right, and then here. So let's.
Yeah, whatever.
So yeah, let's put decapitator
So I
on
guess
here.
in Serum, that's also what it is. It's the exact same thing. It's a noise oscillator, but it's also just
Right.
a sampler. You can just throw whatever you want in there.
Totally.
Even though I've never done that. I've watched many videos about
I
people
have other
telling-
samples in there because John put them in there.
I'm
Yeah.
more concerned about using my own samples as impulse responses.
Yeah, so it sounds a little pretty random.
It sounds sick.
Yeah, and still you
Yeah.
make a mud pie from it, get some fun parts.
Right, 'cause-
something like this, and then you sample it and take boops and things, and
Right.
you stretch it, and
Yeah, here we could add some
Come in.
Valhalla and
Right.
just like
should have followed if that
Put
wasn't
it-
you earlier.
Put it before the decapitator.
Yeah, of course, mine. We're happy to answer any questions you may have, especially if they're philosophy related. I'm down.
Here, let's.
the boy band. Yeah, it's like the cow, but it's also a boy band, and they're in a van, and it's the Bovian. That's what it is.
Oh, the boy band.
It's a boy band of cows in a van. The boy van.
Damn.
Yeah.
What an image that
Yeah.
creates.
An image.
It's an album.
Woo, woo, woo.
Actually sounding dope.
I know, right? Yes, that's sick.
Alright, and then yeah, so what I would do with something like this too is I would just either flatten it or I'd record it,
Right.
and then we just pick out the best pieces. So you'd record it for like 5 minutes and then figure out whichever parts sound good, because probably 90% of it's gonna sound like some random weird stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, this is essentially what people are doing with real synths, is that they're just playing with the synth for like an hour and then they're just picking out the cool parts,
Right.
and then putting that in their songs. And so I think a lot of what makes something sound analog too is just saturation. So if you throw something like Decapitator on it, it'll help with that a lot, because Decapitator is actually a preamp emulation. So all of these are supposed to represent different preamps or like consoles. So like N is for Neve. I don't
It
remember.
is? Okay, that's what I thought it was. I was wondering what each one was. I figured N was Neve.
N is Neve.
But
P
that was
is
just-
for, it's like some like penta. I don't remember any of the other ones off the top of my head.
Okay.
But if you read through the Decapitator user manual, they tell you like what each of them's supposed to be. But yeah, and so if you're just trying to use it as a preamp, you don't want to be like putting it on punish and doing something like that.
Sure.
Like you want to just, it's maybe touching the red a little bit, and then that'll give it some of that like analog sound.
Right.
But yeah, I think plugins
I like
are
the
amazing
disdain in your voice when you say that.
now. Which word?
Analog.
I know, right?
Analog.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't know. I'm
No,
just,
dude, I feel that. Yeah.
I think analog is fun and it's cool to use, but I think a lot of people get this idea that you like need analog to like sound good, and I
No,
think that's
no,
just
no.
not
You're
true. And I
right.
think plugins nowadays are so good that like here now I can use 5 different kinds of preamps without having to like plug in a bunch of cables
Right. It's glorious.
and like
It's a beautiful thing.
and yeah, so I think having analog is fun and cool, and when I've messed around on it, it's like a good time. But I think you got to view the advantages to having plugins too, and I think you can create that modular sound by just throwing a bunch of these LFOs on your stuff and just modulating stuff and then record it
Yeah.
and add some saturation.
And go deeper too, like just arpeggiating the sound and then kind of having LFOs affecting things on the synth is one thing, but modular gear is all about like then feeding something back into itself and trying to get that to then affect something else, and then
That, and you have
and you have all
voltage
those
being
things
varied and stuff, so it's hitting everything differently every time it hits. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah.
all of those things are getting random LFO
But
things.
I feel like at that point you're getting into modular, which is a very specific style of analog.
right.
And if you're like a guy who just wants the analog feel on your lo-fi track, that's different than
Totally
a bass producer wanting a modular setup so he can make sounds.
Yes.
You know, those are two different things.
Well,
But I'm
if
gonna
you're
use the
making
fuck out of this.
techno, if you're making house music, or the origins of that come from modular
Yep.
synthesizer gear, so you're gonna benefit from doing things this way. You gotta find a little loop in there. You
Right.
record
exactly.
it, grab that sample, set it to loop mode, and then go search through. And have it just be like looping weird little sections, and
All the time.
eventually something will be like, sounds like a fucking sick ass house. Trope.
Always 400.
Goddamn right.
Damn right,
Yep.
baby.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like I heard like an elephant at one point when this, when this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting fun. Oh, it's like talking
Yeah,
now.
it is. I was gonna say it's talking to us, dude.
If we wanted to talk,
yeah.
if we wanted to
Form
talk,
it.
yeah, we gotta. Here, we could probably just go back in here and switch that. Honestly. No problem. Well, now
it's
they're
pissed off.
now
We made him angry.
they're not it didn't like transfer the.
No, it didn't. The
Oh yeah, they're
the LFO.
individual like things.
yeah, they're very different. Yeah,
If you go back to
kind
the
of
other
dope.
it is kind of dope.
one, we have
cool.
Formant EQs that are, I mean, kind of shitty, but kind of fun
No, they're kind of
that
fun.
you can put out there. Yeah. After all the processing.
But yeah, you could definitely get some
We'll
cool stuff
probably
out of
deal with
this.
that later.
All right, here should I put a Foreman on here?
Yes.
Should I
Always
just?
Formant.
Just Control F Formant. You should find a KHS Formant filter.
Yeah, there's the KHS also.
HS.
Bottom right there.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I
it's just the
do
same
not-
guys who make Phase Plant.
Okay, nice. Here. Then here, let me just
That is a fun one.
duplicate this 2 more times. Control D. Here, let me change these rates a little bit.
Control D.
Dude.
Give it the D.
Control D, baby.
Gotta give it the Control D if you know what
Give
I'm
it the old
saying.
D, if you know what I'm saying, ladies and gents.
Okay,
Control
nice.
D.
Here, what should I map? Oh, just X and Y, of course.
Indeed.
You're gonna LFO
By the way, this
Of course.
Go.
this episode of the Producer Lounge is brought to you by Control D.
That's right.
Okay, Control D is
When
Merch
you're feeling
drop
a
this
little
Saturday.
lonely.
Control D.
That's right.
Feeling a little helpless?
Control D.
You get a little slosh in your pants.
Oh. Control D.
Control D.
You think you don't know what to do next? Control D.
Control D. Indeed.
Last beer in the fridge. Control D.
Oh man,
Control D.
if only that worked.
You're running low
I've
on
got
money.
Control D these fridges. These. Oh yeah, no.
Yeah,
just,
you
I
fridges.
just do the fridges.
One beer per fridge, but hey, after 20 fridges, you got 20 beers.
And 20 fridges.
And you make money
Yeah,
out
you
of those
make
fridges.
some money on
yeah,
those fridges.
sure. Got a point, folks.
Let's go.
Yeah, I didn't even go over like the random stuff, but the random is actually a really cool thing in Vital too.
I love
Stop
the
the
random.
music.
Stop it.
Yeah. While you're yelling over it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, the random is really cool because it just they chose the algorithms they chose for the random are really useful because they're like continuous randomness. If that makes sense. I've explained it in detail in the manual why you want continuous randomness. Or basically you just don't want jumps. Because if you get jumps, then you're going to get like artifacts and just like stuff that just doesn't sound good because you're just going to get clicks and pops.
Right, because it's flying all over the place.
Yep. And then so Perlin is actually they used Perlin noise for Tron when they were coming up with the graphics for it.
Amen, Brighton.
What?
Oh, it's Brighton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brighton?
I get it
That
now.
makes sense.
Yeah, my buddy
Nice,
Brighton.
nice.
From the makers of
Okay.
Tract, and comes Triple D.
Triple D. It's Control D,
Triple
my
D.
dude.
I don't know where I'm going.
I like this random knobs though. I've been using them quite a bit on very minor things, but it's really nice to have it like on the cutoff on a pluck, because then the pluck will randomly just kind of like give a little more,
Give you a little,
give a little
yeah,
less,
a little baby
give a little
thing.
less, give a little more.
Yeah, that's
Just
fair.
like just a little bit. It's really nice on ARP.
I kind of don't like those noise, or I mean, random
I like them when it's
guys.
dialed in.
I mean, I use randoms all the time, just not the vital ones.
the Vital ones.
I haven't had good sense of them, but yeah, maybe like maybe
I didn't at
just need
first.
to use them more, baby.
Yeah, it's real baby on them.
Baby.
Real baby.
Yeah. Is there a way
Alright.
that you can just like automate a re-trigger for the random kind of thing, like in Vital or whatever kind of thing, or like have you guys ever used
Well, it shouldn't
Synplan?
Yeah.
shouldn't have a true.
Yeah, it's I forget it's sync.
to randomize it?
Are you meant like a retrigger?
Yeah, like just a way to like, cause I have this idea that I've been trying to play with where it's like when I go to smoke a cig, I have this little like serum thing I set up that just gives me a random mud pie while I'm smoking, and I can just come back and fuck with it or whatever. But I want to have it be built in a way so like every 10 seconds, it completely changes the input signal. And I've been trying to do it with Synplant. I've had better results, but just wondering if you knew.
Okay, I mean if you I forget if it's when it's
I mean,
on or
right.
off, but one of them makes it so when the MIDI note comes in, it re-triggers the algorithm. So it basically starts from scratch.
I think when you have
every-
sync off, if you have sync off, it re-triggers the algorithm, so it'll just restart it all completely random again.
Nice.
Yeah,
I think, because when you sync it, I think it'll
it'll pick up where it left off.
right.
Nice.
Huh.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe
They're
sync
both
puts it.
retriggering.
Stereo's just,
Yeah, it just makes two of them.
or maybe it's a style that you have to choose, like a different style of random. I don't know, but we're probably getting close to time here.
Yeah, we'll probably
Yeah.
call it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you so much.
give a good round of applause for Mr.
Zach.
Hookline, Zach, the homie,
And
dropping all the
homie.
knowledge on Vital. Let's go, my
That's
man.
right.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the pod, dude. It was super fun having you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, do we have one last little thing right there?
My dude, go get yourself some modular synthesizers. You're going to have
Yeah,
to
go get some mods, dude.
steal your parents' money or work your ass off to do
Right.
it.
Yeah. Or if
But
you have a rich.
I believe in you.
yeah.
I think you can work it. I think you can figure it
Someone
out.
was asking if they should buy them.
Yeah.
They
he said
should.
He's 16 and he's
They
trying
should.
to get into a mod synth.
If you take care of your modular synthesizers, if you buy them, you can sell them for almost the exact same
Right,
price that
exactly.
you buy them for.
Mm-hmm.
They
So
don't really lose value
grab
unless you
'em.
break it.
take care of them, and then whenever you decide that they were a waste of money and time, then you can sell them again.
And you're
Also,
Or you'll love them to death,
if
Yeah.
you
and you'll
have
never want to not use them again.
if you haven't bought a DAW yet, look into Bitwig. They
yeah.
have like a grid system, they call it. That's like a little modular space in the virtual DAW.
No, what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
i-
no,
if
it's
you
sick.
want-
It's way sick.
You can even
What?
download Bitwig and just try it at
yeah,
any
you can
point.
you can do it for free. You just can't export until you
Yeah,
buy it.
You might have to
But
get
you
some
can-
trickery done.
You
to
can
make that
download it
happen.
free.
Mm.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another great program. This is the Producers Lounge,
Let's
brought to you
go.
by
Subscribe, like,
Always 400.
notification button.
Yeah, all
all
those
that fun
things.
stuff.
Rate us on the podcast apps. Share it with your friends.
Give us your
suck
Word of-
my
firstborn
dick.
son.
Word of mouth, all those things.
Yeah.
Follow me
Mhm.
on Instagram.
Follow DJ
Follow
Hookline.
Hookline
Yeah.
on Instagram.
The
at
man. DJ
At-
Hookline.
DJ Hookline.
DJ
Okay.
Hookline. I'm pretty right.
DJ
Yeah.
Hookline.com.
DJ Hookline.
Always400.com.
Hookline
See you
was
next Tuesday,
taken.
everybody. Oh, was it?